Alright, let's get started here on the morning routine. Good morning, everybody. Let's go over here and we'll start with the S&P. It's pretty typical for us. As you see, we're in an uptrend, guys. It's been an uptrend this whole time. Anything over an intraday chart, will show you that these markets have been an uptrend. But over the last week or so, we've obviously been in this little pullback on the indexes. We're looking at the S&P. We zoom in here, you can see we started last Thursday, a week ago today. We started these measured moves to the downside. Now, as we've talked about over this last week or so, these have been, very well measured moves to the downside. They've had nice pullbacks, nice runs to their extensions from a ratio from a Fibonacci standpoint. But now you see things starting to not follow through as much as it was earlier in the week. These nice follow throughs to the downside that you see here. These nice follow throughs to the downside. They've kind of subsided starting about Monday of this week. They're stopping, not following through as much. And we're getting a retest up a little bit higher. Then we're getting pushed down. And now we're just making, every time we make a higher high, we make a higher low. Higher high, higher low. So we got the bulls and the bears fighting over this position here. And I'm just simply waiting for the bulls to go ahead and take charge here. The overall trend of this market is up without a doubt, and our measured moves to the downside are weakening. They're not getting as much follow through. So you're telling me that. So I'm telling you basically that the bears are now kind of running out of steam. And it's time for the bulls to go ahead and step back in and continue what they started here to the upside. So it's starting to look like today could be a little bit of a choppy market, possibly a little bit of a push to the upside, and then maybe tomorrow or going into the next week, we could get a good little push here. How am I going to trade this today? As of right now, I'm just going to take a micro trend, which is my smaller time frame, like a 512 tick chart. I'm going to start taking smaller term pushes, whichever trend direction we have on a smaller time frame. We're just going to go with that trend and take pullbacks. As of this morning, I took one kickstart for a first target, second target stop out. If you've been in my room, you know what a kickstart is. But basically, I'm just gonna take the direction of the smaller trend. Keep on taking pullbacks. I would prefer that to be the upside, simply because that's where I see the momentum shifting to. But as of right now, you can see we're obviously in this little bit of a sideways pattern here. I would like to see it either break the lows and we can get some opportunities trading down towards the previous day's low, or the same thing to the upside. If we can break highs, just continue on trading up to the upside, and you can see previous day's high up here marked up. That would be nice. There would be two nice targets to look for if we could get a break of this little sideways action. So beware of the choppy markets today. If we do get a little rally on the smaller time frames, don't be afraid to go ahead and jump on board and take that and go for a ride with them markets. So here in the euro, you can see we've been in a sideways chop, guys, for a long time. Over a week, and we've done very little, guys. We had this massive thrust up last Wednesday, and we've been in chop mode ever since. We continue to stay in chop mode. The only thing that's happened here is we've had this longer term channel in play, and with that thrust up, it thrust through that channel. But simply with this sideways action, it's taken us to the bottom channel. So that is significant. That gives us a little buying opportunity. And we just got to see if that can hold. Yesterday we talked about this exact opportunity. Yesterday morning, as we were starting to push up, we had a plan to buy as we bounced off of that channel. That happened to be a retest of the 50% fib, and it worked out nicely. We traded up nicely yesterday, giving us a very, very low volume move to the upside. But now, once again, I see us pulling back, retesting, As you can see, we're retesting yesterday's Euro trading hours low. So very, very interesting times. We'll see if we can get a bounce here. If it's a low volume bounce, there won't be any positions. But if we can start to get a spike and rally, and we can use a smaller time frame, we can have continuation trades to the upside. I'm all game for that. And you can see we got a very nice target of previous day's high, very conservative, and then we have more resistance right above it. So Euro, if we can get some volume in there, could be a very good opportunity, for us to trade. Russell, chopping sideways, but we went over the S&P. Crude. Here we go on crude, guys. You can obviously see we've been moving down. We've had these moves down, and I'm kind of going to talk kind of like I was on the S&P. I'm kind of going to talk about this like I talked about the S&P. Let me blow this up a little bit more for us. Put it on a 4-hour chart. Here we go. If you guys remember, we talked about yesterday a lot about, or actually we're here in the past week or so. We had this little, what you would call like a trend line here from these lows. This is a 4-hour chart. These were marked up kind of on the daily chart, but we were waiting for a break of this. We tested it down intraday just in time to get flushed right back to the upside here. A couple weeks ago. But now we've obviously sold off. We've been in this channel-like pattern to the downside, and we've retested the original support here that comes across. Now, if we look at yesterday's price action, that comes into play a whole lot of what I'm going to talk about today and how I'm actually going to trade today's market. As you remember, yesterday we had nothing but a whole bunch of measured highs, measured lows, up, down, whippy, just in time for it to sell off at the close. Just in time to have this big sell-off here into the close. The previous days, we would have nice little whips up, push down, push up, higher lows, higher highs, on up. And we've had this price action for 2 days now. And then we had this big sell-off yesterday just to show us that the sellers still were able to push this market down, but they weren't able to hold it and continue into the downside, as we're still holding this support area that we found from several days back. And what did we get this morning? We got a rally. We got a nice rally here by the bulls into this morning. So that tells me that bulls are able to catch a little bit of a wind here. And I'm actually looking for the bulls to take charge again. Now, is that going to happen? Is that going to follow through? We don't know. But the likelihood is that I'm going to have the opportunity to trade pullbacks to the upside this morning based on these last couple of days' price actions and how choppy they've been. So definitely know that it's going to be a sideways range-bound market, but I do see some short-term bullish opportunities for us. And all that's been written down and stated here. This has been written up now for a half hour's time or so. I posted this on the website. I'll put this recorded video on here, but I do talk about this market and how I see a sideways range-bound market today. As you see, I see range-bound market personality for today. But obviously, I see opportunities to the upside. If we're going to get them, I'm going to take them. If not, I'm going to just be a little more cautious. Not quite press the button so much to the downside, unless it really gives me some clear opportunities. So, any questions about this morning analysis? Any questions at all, guys? Pretty clear on what we're looking for, especially based on the price personality over the last couple of days. It's been kind of a choppy like environment. We'll make a higher high, and then right after that, we'll make a lower low. Make a higher high and make a lower low. So that is tough whenever you're trying to kind of get onto a trend and ride that, so to speak. So A little bit of a tough environment, but yet nothing that's not tradable. So, all right, guys. Yeah, good morning, guys. But so yeah, let's wait. We have some numbers coming out here. About a half hour after the open, we have pending home sales coming out at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, and FOMC members speaking about 10 minutes after that. And you guys know it's Thursday, so natural gas. There's a couple natural gas traders in here. Guys, be aware. Set your alerts for 10:30, 7:30 Pacific. Make sure you're not trading during that news announcement unless you're trading some type of spread or whatever. But just be careful around that news announcement. So. Alrighty, guys, that's it for this morning. Let's go ahead and see what this market's going to start doing and see if we can get some opportunities here. Any questions at all?